Luke chapter 22, verse 34. At Luke chapter 22, verse 34, it speaks about how Jesus gives a prophecy about how Peter will deny him 3 different times in the same night. However, before Jesus says how Peter is going to deny him 3 different times in the same day, Peter was saying to Jesus how he was willing to go to die with him. And after that, Jesus gave a prophecy about Peter denying him 3 different times, specifically 3. Luke chapter 22, verse 34 reads, "But he said," and he is referring to Jesus, "but he said, I tell you, Peter, a rooster will not crow today until you have denied knowing me 3 times." Now, did this actually happen? Did Jesus' prophecy come true? Let's read Luke chapter 22, verse 61. Luke chapter 22, verse 61 reads, "At this, the Lord," referring to Jesus, "turned and looked straight at Peter. And Peter recalled the statement of the Lord when he had said to him, 'Before a rooster crows today, you will disown me 3 times.'" So let's see the 3 times how Jesus was denied by Peter. It starts off it's in the same chapter, Luke chapter 22, verse 55. Sorry, yeah, 55. It reads, and this is after they took Jesus, and Peter was following along. It reads, "When they lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat down together, Peter was sitting among them. But a servant girl, seeing him," referring to Peter, "sitting in the light of the fire, looked closely at him," referring to Peter, "and said, 'This man was also with him,'" referring to Jesus. But he, Peter, denied it, saying, "I do not know him, woman." So that's the first time. After a short time, another person saw him, referring to Peter, and said, "You too are one of them," referring to Jesus' disciples. But Peter said, "Man, I am not." So this is the second time Peter denies Jesus. moving on. And after about an hour had passed, another man began insisting strongly. Certainly, this man was also with him, referring to Jesus, for he, referring to Peter, is, in fact, a Galilean. But Peter said, "Man, I do not know what you are saying." And instantly, while he was speaking, a rooster crowed. At this, the Lord turned and looked straight at Peter, and Peter recalled the statement of the Lord when he had said to him, "Before a rooster crows today, you will disown me 3 times." And he, referring to Peter, went outside and wept bitterly. So what do we see here? We saw how Peter was foretold to deny Jesus 3 different times. And we saw that Peter was questioned by 3 different people 3 different times in the same night. But something happened on the 3rd time that Peter was asked. And that part is at Luke chapter 22, verse 59. So at verse 59 it says, "And after an hour had passed," and this is the third man, the third person that's attempting to test Peter to see if he's going to confess. It says, "And about an hour had passed." Oh, sorry, it says, "And after about an hour had passed, another man insistently strongly." So this 3rd time where Peter was tested, it was emphasis on Peter being pointed out as one of Jesus' disciples, being with Jesus. And there is a reason also, after Peter was tested and denied Jesus the 3rd time, Jesus gave attention to Peter also. So there was a reaction. After Peter denied him the 3rd time, Jesus turned and gave a look at Peter. And Peter had a memory of what Jesus said. So that 3rd time gave a reaction to Jesus. Caused a reaction from Jesus, and also a reaction with Peter, remembering what Jesus said.